I'll teach you something you won't forget.
Hello and welcome back here in Minecraft once again. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick and I also have some trouble with my new microphone. I have some background noise going on, and I also seem to be only able to record either my voice or the game sound, not both together. I'm working on that, but I hope you can ignore that for now. But yeah, anyways, the reason why I make this video is because of a post in the Redstone section of the Minecraft forums, and it's actually pretty cool. I think the author's name is the Night Owl, and the Night Owl actually posted a video about an impossible tunnel, and it's actually very simple. You have a cube-like structure in the middle of a room, and if you look at it from one side, you will have a tunnel leading all the way through the cube into the back wall, and you can just walk through it. And if you look at the other side, you will not see a tunnel, you will see another entrance that also leads into a different tunnel that goes all the way through the cube and into the back wall. So you will never see the tunnel going into the wall, you just see the entrance and the inside of the tunnel and never the outside. That's actually pretty cool, and it works on a pretty simple idea, and it's very well explained, I think. So I will just put the video link in my video description so you can check it out on your own if you want to. In this video I'm going to showcase my way of doing this, which I have actually built together with my brother in the pre 1.7 snapshots, so the snapshots that were released shortly before the 1.7 update. It was all with set block commands. Now I rebuilt this with execute and clone and so on, so this should work just fine. But now I'm gonna showcase something a little bit different that is basically the same idea, but a little bit different. I just wanted to show that because it's similar. So you have this hallway cross section where the hallways never cross, basically. So you can see the hallway goes on a few blocks into this direction, but although this hallway should cross it, it doesn't. And the reason for that is they do actually cross right here, but you do not see it. And the reason for that is, I can just show you from above. You have this cross section, but you always only see one hallway at a time. You do not see both hallways at the same time. And I can just show you, you have this cross section with this wall segment right here, and if you fly or walk into this section over here, it will actually spawn a different structure into there. So if you go into this section over here, it will input this segment of the wall so that you can actually walk straight through this hallway without seeing this one. And if you walk into this section right here, it will input the other structure right there, and then you can actually walk through this hallway without seeing the other one. So that's actually very simple, very simple, neat idea. It works pretty well with the new snapshots, with the execute and clone commands. I think this one only runs on 2 command blocks, one for each segment that you need to clone, but that's it. Only the 2. If you want to make it run more smoothly, then you of course need to add some scoreboard data, for example, and I will show how that's done in another video. But right now I'm going to show the second design that I built. Actually, I think this was the idea of my brother. We kind of invented it together, but I think the initial idea came from my brother. But anyways, this is basically the same idea as the design of the Night Owl, but it's a little bit different. You have a glass cube instead of a solid one, and if you walk around the corner, it will change what's inside. You can see right here there's a tree, and if you walk around this corner, it will show a park bench. You can walk back and you will have the tree again, and you're actually not teleported, as you might be able to see from the arm movement of my Minecraft character. But anyway, so you have the tree here, the park bench from the other side, and from here you will see a house, a little weird house, but it's a house. I'll just mark this for the purpose of explanation in a second. From here you see the tree, from here you see the house, and over there it will show the park bench. And from this side you will actually see a tunnel that does not lead through the cube but into the ground. I also wanted to make it to so that the tunnel of the hallway would go all the way through the cube into the back wall, just like in the design of the Night Owl, but I couldn't make that because of visual problems. If you step into the corner, you would be able to see the tunnel spawn. You would be able to see it through the glass cube, and I couldn't work my way around it, so I just didn't do it this way. I just made it so that the hallway goes into the ground, and there's actually something else behind here, which I will not show in this video. There are a few bugs right now that I'm working on. For example, sometimes the entrance is there, but the actual structure did not despawn and the tunnel did not spawn. I can show this actually right now with the park bench, for example. If I stay over here, you can see there is the park bench there, and if I go a few steps back, you have the park bench and the entrance, because the entrance itself, this one layer entrance, is spawned separate from the tunnel. So you have still the park bench and the entrance. So if you now fly up outside of the execute command area, you will see the park bench in the middle with just the entrance, which is spawned separately from the tunnel. And if I would now fly down, it would detect me inside the area for the tunnel, so it would spawn the tunnel, which I will actually show in a second. But sometimes it doesn't, and then it looks like this, and you can actually walk in there, but that's actually not that much of a problem. You just have another structure, so it does not create any problems. It just shouldn't be this way, but I just left it like that because it doesn't make any problems, as I said. It can also happen from the other side, so you have a house in the middle and you can just walk right in there. I actually took advantage of that, but I will maybe explain that in a later video. So if I now go down, I will actually spawn the tunnel, because it then tracks that I am in the area that it will spawn the tunnel in. So if I now walk back, it will again show the park bench. So this is actually pretty neat, I think. It works pretty well with just a few bugs, as I said, that I'm working on actually. I will actually just very quickly explain how this works, just not in detail, just very quickly. So you have 3 command blocks for each structure that run execute commands, and it's basically the first command always runs this area. So it tests if a player is in this area, and if that happens, it runs a command. And this all, of course, inside one command block, because now with the execute command you can do that all in one command block. And the same thing happens for this area right here, and the same after that for this area up to here. So you have three command blocks, and together they add up to an area that looks basically like this, and the middle part is filled out basically. So whenever you step into this area, it will run a command, and this command will spawn the tree inside the middle here, and it will change some scoreboard data. And the scoreboard data is actually not important, you don't need it, but it will make it less laggy, and that's actually the scoreboard setup that I talked about earlier. I will just explain that pretty quickly. Okay, so I completely messed up the explanation for the scoreboard system. I'm sorry for that. But anyways, I will just record this again. It's actually kind of simple. You just need to work your way around it. You have 4 areas. Area 1, I will just mark this. 1, 2 over here. Then over here there is 3. And the tunnel is number 4. So that's it. You have 4 areas, and for each area there is one scoreboard. So there is scoreboard 1, scoreboard 2, scoreboard 3, and scoreboard 4. Like you can actually see right now on the right side there is scoreboard 1 shown in the sidebar. Now if you walk into an area, for example here area 1, you will get a value of 0 for this area. So as you can see right now on the right hand side, I am in the scoreboard 1 with this value 0. If you walk out of this area into any other area, you will be reset to 1. So if, for example, if I walk into area 2, you will see on the right hand side I am set to a value of 1 in the scoreboard 1. And if I walk back into the scoreboard 1 from any side, it will reset me to 0. So that's basically what happens. So also if I just fly up, you can see I'm not in the area of the scoreboard 2 because this area is only 3 blocks high. So if I go into area 4, it will also put me to 1 because every other area than 1 will put me to a value of 1 in the scoreboard 1. It's a little bit confusing, but actually very simple. Now the same applies to scoreboard 2, for example. If I go into scoreboard 2, every other area than 2 will set me to a value of 1 for scoreboard 2. If I walk into area 2, it will put me to 0. If I walk into 4, I will be set to 1 again. 3 will also set me to 1. 1 will set me to 1, and 2 will set me to 0. The same for 3 and 4. So every scoreboard sets me in the specific area to 0 for its own scoreboard, and the others to 1. That's very simple, actually, if you think about it. I hope you understood that. And the reason why I do this is I can just very quickly show you the actual command blocks, and then you might understand why this is the case. If I show this command block, it starts with the execute at A, which says just execute a command as a player, and the properties that this player needs to have is the player needs to have a score of 2, the score for the scoreboard 2 of minimum 1. Sorry. So that says that the command is only executed if the player has a value of 1 in the scoreboard 2, which means that you need to be outside of you need to be outside of area 2 for the command to be able to run. And if you walk into the area 2, it will run once or twice, maybe, it depends. And then you will be set to 0, so then the command does not apply anymore. So it will be executed for a short time, and then it does not get executed anymore. And that makes sure that it does not constantly clone the structures, which are actually down here. I do not know if I showed you that in the video. I don't think so. So basically you walk into an area, the command is executed, and then it's stopped because you need to be the value of 1 for the specific scoreboard. So if you walk into here, you will execute the command that clones the tree into the middle right here, and then that's because you are actually you have the value of 1 for the scoreboard 1. And right after that you are set to 0 in the scoreboard 1, so then the command does not apply and it does not constantly replace this tree. I hope you understood that. It's actually very simple. The same right here. If I walk from here, as you can see, and now I am in the scoreboard 2, I have the value 1. So if I walk into here, I meet the requirements. I have the score 1 in the scoreboard 2. So if I go in there, the requirements are met, basically. I think you say that this way. Anyways, so I have the requirements to run the command. So the command is executed, but then I will be set to 0, and then the command is not executed anymore, but the bench has already been set, so it does not get replaced, but it gets placed once or twice, and then it stops. So that's just so that the system is not too laggy, because as you might see that if I walk around the corner, it lags a very little bit. I don't think it would run on my laptop at all, but basically that's how it works. It's actually very simple, and I hope you understood that. So for the last part, I'm going to explain how and why I spawn the entrance and the glass wall separately. And You can actually see here the actual original structures that get spawned or cloned into the cube, and we're actually exactly underneath the cube. So these structures get cloned just upwards into the cube. That's actually very convenient. And here we have two separate structures which seem like they're attached, but they are actually just separate structures, which is the 1 layer thick entrance and the 1 layer thick glass wall. And I can just show you in the cube. I think I have already shown you. I've actually set something up here to just show you that in a second. But if you walk into this area, you can still see the bench. And you can already see the entrance of the tunnel. Now, as you can see, if I remove these blocks, the tunnel is not there yet. It actually gets only spawned if you walk into this blue area. Now, if you are in the green area, you will spawn the bench. And the entrance is going to be spawned in the yellow part and despawned in the red part. So the green area actually includes red and yellow, and then there is an additional yellow in here and the red. So if you go onto the red part, it despawns the entrance, or rather it actually overlays it with the glass wall. And if you go back onto the yellow, it will spawn the entrance. And that's basically how it works. If you just look at it while walking across it, it will look like this. And if you go back, it looks like this. And actually, if there are blocks in there, you will not be able to see any spawning or despawning, and you will just see the tunnel appear and disappear. And that's how this works. So that's about it. Don't forget to check out the Night Owls video in the description. Also, if you want to see more of this stuff, just check out my channel. If you want to contact me, just write me a private message or a comment on YouTube, or feel free to contact me in the Minecraft forums. Well, I hope you liked the video, and thank you for watching.